Have you ever been in a position where you're faced with a problem? A serious kind of problem that you know that you cannot solve on your own. And then you take it to God in prayer, asking God not to allow this problem to happen to me. Not to allow this problem to happen at all. So you may go on your bed and lay on your back and you pray, or you go on your knees and you pray. And because we believe in God so much, we get up believing that this problem will not happen to us. And we're giving praise. And then before you know it, the very thing we ask God not to let happen to us, happen to us. If you have ever been in a situation like that, or you are in a situation like that now, we are going to discuss what to do when you pray to God and the very thing you ask God not to happen, happen to you. Hey, I'm Omar Dawkins. My friends call me God Bless. Let's do this. So, I'm going to tell you a story from one of the many books that I have read. And I'm the reader of many books. And I believe that persons should read at least 12 books per year. One per month. It's good to read books. It's good to hear from persons, hear persons' experience, and it helps us to live a better kind of life. Now, one of my favorite books to read is indeed the Bible. And the story that I'm going to tell you right now comes from a book in the Bible that is called St. Mark. Actually, St. Mark chapter 5, from verse 22 to the end. It's a story about a religious man by the name of Jairus. Now, according to the Bible, Jairus was a man of God. He was the ruler of a synagogue. Now, if Jairus was living with us today, if he was among us today, he would be like a pastor, he would be like a bishop, he would be one of those leaders in the church. But guess what? Jairus had a problem. And let's take a pin. Now, many of us and many Christians believe that because they are children of God and because they have fasted and they go to fasting service every Wednesday and because they pray for persons and healing manifest, they believe that they should not have any problem. Far from the truth. There are many persons who believe that they are kind and they give to the poor and they tithe and throw their offering. As a result of that, they are a good person and they should not have any problems. There are some who think that because they live in a particular area, there are some who think that because they are in certain social part of life, they should not have any problems. Now let me educate you. Jesus Christ promised us that as long as you are living, you will have problems. As a matter of fact, Jesus Christ said, in this world we will have tribulations, but be of good cheer. I have overcome the world. So it doesn't matter if you're a boy, if you're a girl, if you're rich, if you're poor, as long as you are alive, you will have problems. So let us just ask God when the problems come to make us wiser, to make us stronger, so that we may deal with the problem. And let us stop saying to God, God, why should you allow this to happen to me? Jairus realized that this problem was bigger than him. He could not solve it. What was the problem? His 12 years old daughter was sick unto death. His only daughter. Now, Jairus went to many doctors, spent a lot of money, gave her homemade remedy. That did not work. Then he heard about a man by the name of Jesus. So Jairus went to Jesus and he said to Jesus, Jesus, my daughter is sick. I want you to come to my house, touch my daughter, so that she may live again. He said, Jesus, my daughter is sick. Let's stop right there. There is a way to pray. There is indeed a way to pray. The first thing Jairus did was he identified the problem. Now, what is your problem today? Is it a financial problem? Is it a social problem? What kind of problem are you having right now? Is it that you're not getting along with your brother? Is it that you're not getting along with your sister, your mother, your father? Is it that you're feeling aches and pain? Or is it just that you're feeling restless, you're feeling worthless? Well, take it to God in prayer. Go to God right now and tell him, God, this is indeed my problem. Be precise. But Jairus did not just tell God his problem. He told him exactly what he wanted him to do. He said, Jesus, come to my house. Touch my daughter so that she may live again. So, in other words, the man was precise. He told Jesus exactly what he wanted him to do. What do you want God to do in your life? What exactly do you want God to do in your life? Don't just be general about it. Be precise. Don't just say, God, I want a car. What kind of car do you want? State the car. State the interior of the car. Leather interior, sunroof, double muffler, a Lexus truck, a Jaguar. State the kind of vehicle you want. Don't just say, God, I want more money. State, God, I want to earn this amount of money per week, this amount of money per month. God, I want to earn $100 million per year. Yes. And for some persons, they just laugh. Well, if you did not believe, you will not receive, so you better believe. The truth is, whatever we want, it could be better grades in school. Say, God, I'm failing chemistry. I'm failing physics. I need to get an A. I need to get in the 90s. I need 95. I need 97. Exactly what you want. That's what you must say to God. Don't just say, God, I want to feel better. What about you is sick? God, I want 20/20 vision. God, I want to walk again. God, I want to run again so that I may enter 5K. God, I want to do, and you state exactly what you want. So Jairus and Jesus and all his disciples and the crowd behind Jesus, they started to walk to Jairus' house. On their way to Jairus' house, a lady who had a problem, she had a bleeding problem. The Bible said she had an issue of blood problem. So she heard about Jesus and she went to Jesus for healing. So in other words, Jairus asked Jesus to come to his house. And on his way to his house, the lady, you know the story, she touched the hem of his garment and she got healed. And this is what happened when we walk with Jesus, when we have Jesus in our lives. People around us will see us walking with God, will see the power in us, will see that we are happy, will see that God is indeed in us and we are believing in God. And as a result, they will get the benefit. So the lady touched Jesus and was healed as a result of that. But something took place immediately after the lady was healed. Some people came from Jairus' house and said to Jairus, don't bother Jesus anymore. Your daughter is dead. Can you imagine this? Jairus, the man of God, who went to Jesus, asked Jesus to heal his daughter, not to let her die, just heard that she is dead. Now, what is your problem? What have you asked God about? What kind of problem did you tell God to solve? Are you disappointed with God? Are you saying right now that, God, why have you forsaken me? Why don't you have mercy on me? You said in your word that all we need to do is just to pray and believe. And I've prayed and I've believed. And now the worst is happening to me. Well, if you are in a situation like this, here is what Jesus said we should do. Do not be afraid. Now listen, 365 times it is written in the Bible, do not be afraid, or fret not, the same thing. 365 times. Some people say one for every day. Now, fear does not come from God. It doesn't matter what we are fearful of. Fear does not come from God. And the Bible said it that fear is from the devil. The Bible said that, for the Lord has not given us a spirit of fear. Fear is a spirit. The Lord has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power, of love, and a sound mind. Anytime we feel fearful of anything at all, whether it be bills to be paid, whether it be sickness and disease, whether it be social problem, whether it be whatever the problem is, whether it be a lizard, whether it be a test, whether it be an exam, anytime we feel fearful, rebuke it with power, with love, and a sound mind. But Jesus also told Jairus, only thing you should do is believe. And I could talk the entire year about believing right now, because this is deep. It is very deep, the belief system. And I'm going to give just a synopsis of how to use this belief system in your lives. Now, there was a man in the Bible who had a son, and he wanted Jesus to heal his son. He didn't ask Jesus to come to his house. He told Jesus that he could speak from where he was, and it would happen. Now, Jesus said to him that you would have to believe. If you do not believe, it will not happen. Now, guess what the man did? And this is what I do every time I feel like I'm not believing. The man said, Lord, I believe, but forgive my unbelief. In other words, he took out an insurance policy against unbelief. So anytime we become fearful, and anytime we think that we are not believing in what we are supposed to do, just say, Lord, please forgive my unbelief. Please help my unbelief. Okay, so Jesus told Jairus, do not be afraid, only believe. And they moved on. And they were now going to Jairus' house, as Jesus told him. Now, when they reached to Jairus' gate, the crowd that was there, because the little girl was dead inside, heard that Jesus had come to wake her up. And they started to laugh. And they started to mock him. And they started to mock Jairus and said that the girl is dead. Now, Jesus did something right here, and I want you to pay attention to this also. On hearing the views of the crowd, Jesus took Jairus, Peter, James, John, and the mother of the child, took them in the house and locked the door. Now, listen to the persons that were in the house. Peter, James, and John. Jesus did not take all of his disciples. It meant that some persons who were walking with Jesus did not believe. And there are many persons today walking with Bible, going to church 7 days per week, preaching on the bus, saying they love God, acting as if they do believe. Beware, lock them out. Now, for 2019, there are many of us who want to live a better life than 2018 and 2017 and 2016. Because all of those years were just about the same. In other words, when you look at 2018, and if someone should ask you what took place in 2018, it's just about what happened in 2017 and 2016. If you made any improvement, it was not much. Just a little. Or for some persons, they're reversed. But it wasn't any significant movement where you could say, yes, I have achieved a significant amount in 2018. So guess what you need to do? You need to lock the door on some friends. Lock the door, literally lock the door on some friends. And you don't have to be rude about it. We can just start calling them less. They will understand, and they will realize as time goes by that, look, you are in a different mood, you are among a different level, you are in a different class. People, we need to understand that there are some friends who love us, They really and truly love us, but they are not good for us. How can this be, you ask? Let me explain. So, you are there and you are not working right now, and you have a friend and you get up every morning and you're close with your friend and you have a chat, may have a smoke, may have a drink, and you watch the television together and you just chat together and have a good time. And that friend really loves you. But you're looking to yourself and you say to yourself that, I want to do something. I want to go back to school. I want to learn a trade. I want to get a job. I want to do something else. That friend who loves you, know that he or she is lazy. That friend is not willing to go back to school with you. That friend is not willing to go and get a job with you. That friend is not willing to make that move. So that friend wants you to stay right there with them. They love you, but they want you to stay at their level. So for some persons, we have to love them from a distance for 2019 if we really want to move up the ladder in life. Friend, I love you and I rate you, but you're on the 1st floor and I'm going on the 10th floor. Are you coming? If you're coming, we can go up together. If you are not coming, I am leaving you right now because I want to achieve more. So Jesus Christ and all those who believed, he was in the house with only those who believed. And that is what we have to do for this year. We have to walk with those who believe in us. We have to walk with those who they and us are seeing eye to eye as it relates to our philosophy, what we want to achieve. They are not laughing at us when we say we want that car. They are not laughing at us when we say we want that house. We have to associate ourselves only with those who are seeing eye to eye with us. In other words, the chemistry gels together. So Jesus was in the room and Jesus touched the girl. He prayed for the girl and she became alive. Now let's stop there. In the beginning, we spoke about being precise about what you want. Now Jairus, the very thing Jairus asked Jesus to do was the very thing that Jesus did. Jairus said, come to my house. Jesus did. Jairus said, touch my daughter. Jesus did. And Jairus also said to Jesus, so that she may live again. And the girl rose from her death. Let 2019 be the year when we rise from the death of poverty, when we rise from the death of bad health, when we rise from the death of family problems, when we rise from the death of a broken car, when we rise from the death of zero in our bank books, when we rise from the death of the things that make us uncomfortable. In 2019, let us rise from the things that we do not want to associate with. Let us put our goals together. Let us write it down. Let us not act as if God is broke. Whatever we want in life, let us put it down on a paper. Let us take it to God and ask him for whatever we want. Are you happy with the kind of life that you are living? Are you? Well, look at your circumstances right now. Look at your friends right now. And you tell me, if you continue on this path, if 5 years from now you will be any better. Are you better now than 5 years ago? Now, as I said earlier, that God promised us problems. And problems make the world go round. Now, if it wasn't because of a car problem, the mechanic would have no money, no job. If it wasn't because of a health problem, the doctor would have no money, no job. In other words, problems are made to make us better. So let us ask God to make